Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to do a pretty important video. And this video is great for newer traders. I'm going to try and keep it as simple and uh, the terminology is simple and the strategy as simple as I possibly can. Um, Now, before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe button, so you don't miss any more of this content. This content that I'm putting out free right now is extremely valuable. I mean, you couldn't even put a price on it, honestly. Um, if you follow this strategy, you will have success. It's just I've been trading this particular strategy or a version of it for almost a year now, and I've just gradually, slowly improved on this strategy. But I mean, the strategy's here for you to take advantage of. So. Again, like and subscribe before we get started. Okay, so today, what we're going to cover is I'm going to do a newer video for basically anybody that's brand new, doesn't know where to start, they're just getting started, they don't really know what to do. So where would you start? Well, the first thing is obviously you're going to need some type of trading account. Okay, so something like Robinhood is very easy. It's very user friendly, and if you are going to be following us, I mean, technically you can trade this actual stock. So when I would say buy, SPY, call, you could buy like just SPY stock. But you would probably need to buy a pretty good amount of it to make some profits. Whereas with the SPY call, you can spend as little as maybe $100 or so on one option, and make considerable percentage gains from that. A lot of these plays have doubled and tripled and even more. And I'll get into that in a second, but. So that's why, even if you're new, I kind of push you towards options. A lot of people are scared of options. A lot of people hear horror stories. A lot of people think they can lose money that they don't have with options. And I'm going to try and debunk some of those things real quick. So first of all, when we short and when we quote unquote short the market, we're just buying a put option. Now, let's say we buy a put option for $150. You cannot lose more than that $150 or whatever you pay for that option, okay? Same thing with a call. Let's say you buy a call for $110, okay? You cannot lose more than $110. So whatever you put in is the max you can lose, okay? So I just want to make that very clear. Even when we're quote unquote shorting the market, we're not buying shares short. We're just betting to the downside. We're betting that the market is going to go down. So something like this, where the market drops, we took advantage and we bought put options, okay? And as you can see, we're getting very close to that here. You probably can't see it now. I don't expect you to because I have no indicators up. But that's where I'm going to start. So number one, I'm not going to show you that in the video, but you should have a broker and you should be approved for options trading. Now, the one thing I will say about the options, to get approved for options, I have, about 5 years experience now doing this. I'm going to be leading the way. So even if you're newer, you might want to answer those questions. So I'm not telling you what to do. You're in control of your own finances, but in order to get approved for options, you should probably err towards a higher risk. And again, I have, I guess well over 5 years experience now trading options. So, answering the questions somewhere around that got me approved. I'll put it like that. I'm trying to toe the line here. So that's that. Once you're approved for your options trading through Robinhood, Webull, TD, Thinkorswim, Schwab, whoever it may be, then you're good to go. Okay, so you've got that side taken care of it. Now, and it's fairly easy, by the way, to buy or sell options, and I do have some videos on that as well. We're not going to cover that in this video. It's very simple. You may need to play around with it. And again, I'll say this. I've said this once. I've said this twice. I've said this a million times. When you're starting out, you can paper trade first, but when you first start trading options, do not buy more than one contract, okay? Make your mistakes with small money, you don't want to say, I did great on that trade. I bought one there. I bought two there. I did great. All right, let me buy 5. Let me buy 10. And then, oh, shit, now you fucked up. You know what I mean? You press buy when you meant to press sell, or, you bought it, whatever the mistake may be. If you do it with one contract and you have a mistake with one contract, it's a lot easier to recover than if you had maybe 10 contracts or 20 contracts or 50 or whatever, So start with one contract. What I want you to do, and what my goal here is to help you instill good habits, because those good habits are going to translate to you trading. And I say this all the time, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Anybody can do this, okay? You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to do this. And especially with me literally telling you exactly what you need to do. I mean, I'm giving you the answers to the test, okay? So all you need to do is you need to make sure you copy the answers to the test down correctly, and you're going to pass the test, okay? Another thing, just real quick. I know I talk kind of slow. If you guys don't know this, on YouTube, you can go to the settings, and if you type, or you can speed the video up to 1.25, 1.5, whatever you want. Time is extremely valuable, especially to me. So go ahead and, if I'm talking too slow, even for my own speaking and when others are speaking, I put it up to at least 1.25. Or if you need to slow it down, slow it down. If you need to pause, do what you got to do. So just want to get that out there. All right, so you guys are brand new, right? No idea what to do. You're signed up with your broker. You're approved for options. Another thing, don't put any more than maybe $1,000 in your account. And again, you should have a cash account, because I guess if you're swing trading, you don't need a cash account. I will say that. But if you're going to day trade, I'm not really going to cover the day trading side of this. This is going to be more centered toward the swing trade side of this. But if you're going to day trade and you have under $25,000 in that account, make sure you have a cash account, not a margin account. Okay, very important, because with a cash account, you can day trade as many times as you want. There's no PDT, pattern day trading rule for cash accounts. There are for margin accounts, which is normally what people have as a margin account. So if you're day trading under 25K, make sure you switch to a cash account. All right, so you guys are brand new. You don't know where you started. You've got your broker set up, but you're looking at this chart and you're saying, what the fuck is this? I see a bunch of lines. I see a bunch of green. I see a bunch of red. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. All right, look, make this very simple for you. All right, I'm not here and I'm not going to teach you all about what candles are, different patterns, this and that. I am strictly going to teach you exactly what you need to know to be successful with doing this, okay? And for this version, and maybe I'll sneak in a little more at the end, but to start, I'm just going to assume you have the free version of TradingView. Again, so your first move would be to create a TradingView account, and you get 2 free indicators at a time for TradingView, okay? For the free account. Now, they run specials, and if you're going to take this seriously, I highly recommend the specials, because I think about twice a year, once during the spring and once during Black Friday, they have like it's like 79 or 71% off for the highest package, and that gives you unlimited indicators. And it's just, if you're going to take this seriously, it's just worth every penny. In the meantime, if you have some extra cash and you want some more indicators, you can really follow along exactly what I'm doing to the T, and I'll show you what I mean here towards the end. Then I would maybe at least go with like the basic or the middle one, which gives you, I think, either 3 or 5 indicators. And that should be enough. I usually look at about 3 to 5 indicators, about 5. So, but for all intents and purposes, for right now, I'm gonna show you 2 indicators. I'm gonna show you the 2 indicators you're gonna look for, and I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to look for. Okay. So right now we are on the SPY chart. So you can go ahead, type in SPY, and this is going to come up. This chart will come up. Next thing I want you to do is go ahead and go to the 1 hour chart. Okay, go ahead and star that, favorite it. And this is where, for the purposes of swing trading, this is what I take advantage of. And this is what I look at, is the 1 hour chart. Sometimes the 2, but usually just the 1 hour chart. And for the purposes of video, that's what we'll look at. So we are on our 1 hour chart. We're on SPY. And again, if you guys need to stop the video right now, go set up your trading view and come back and make sure your screen looks like this. Go ahead, pause it, and then you can come back. All right, now that you guys are back, your screen should look like this. And I'm going to go ahead and you're going to go to indicators, okay? First thing I want you to type in is Q trend, okay? And if you go down, you're going to see a whole bunch of different things. You should say something called Q trend by Tarasenko, okay? Go ahead and star that and click on it. I don't think you have to double click. Well, let's see. I think you just click on it. Yeah, just click on it once. And you should see an indicator that comes up just like this, okay? Next thing I want you to do, I want you to go click on the Q trend here, and I want you to go to the little settings bar here, all right? And then we're going to go to inputs, and I want you to go to ATR multiplier, and we're going to put in 1.5. Now, I play around with this a little bit. Sometimes I do 1.75. Sometimes I do 1.5. Does it make a huge difference? Not really. So whether you use 1.5, 1.75, but let's do 1.5 for now, since I think that's the way I have it set up and have had it set up. So just change the ATR multiplier to 1.5, and then I want you to just scroll down, and then you should see. Sorry, is my screen blocking it? Signals to show, make sure it's on all, okay? So ATR multiplier, 1.5, signals to show, all. And if you want to mess with the Q trend indicator, again, after you're comfortable, go ahead. But for now, let's save that. And now your screen should look something like this. You'll see these sell indicators, and you'll see these in red, and then you'll see these buy indicators in green. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to type in wave trend, all one word, okay? And you should see something that says wave trend with crosses, lazy bear. Go ahead and star that and click on it. And now your screen should look something like this. You should, again, have your Q trend buy and sell signals at the top. And then you should have this indicator here at the bottom. Okay, and it's got 2 green lines at the bottom and 2 green lines at the top. Now, at the end of the video, I do use other indicators that help me kind of reel this all in. But for the free version, we're only going to cover these two indicators here. Okay. Now, if you want to go deeper, I do use about 3 other indicators that really turn this up to a huge win rate. But this in itself is going to get the job done, if that makes sense. And I'll show you. So, what are we looking for? Very, very simple. And this is, when I teach people, it's like, man, this is so fucking simple. And, people just kind of ignore it or they think, oh, this is too hard. This is how fucking simple it is, guys, okay? When you're at the green double line here and you have a buy signal, you're going to buy calls, SPY calls, because we're on SPY, right? So you're going to buy SPY calls, and a rule of thumb is I would pay about, you're going to want to go about 3 days out, okay? Not counting the weekends, all right? So 3 trading days, okay? So Monday would be our next day. So the 6th would be the earliest we could buy options. So if we got a sell signal and I threw out an alert here for puts, which is likely coming either probably Monday, maybe Tuesday, then I would go about 3 trading days out, okay? And I would also pay about $200 at least for those options, okay? And again, I'm talking about SPY here. So SPY they have daily contracts. They're one of the only stocks, tickers, equities, ETFs that have contracts every day. Most others have weeklies or monthlies. So the earliest one you could buy for something like Apple would be next Friday. So whatever that is, May 11th or whatever it is, 12th, whatever it is. So again, rule of thumb, you're going to go about 3 days out. So tomorrow's the 6th, right? So you're not going to buy the 6th, not going to buy the 7th. I would say you buy either the 8th or the 9th. And how far out of the money do you want to get? I wouldn't pay any less than $200. I would look for contracts probably closer to like 300. And again, if you have smaller accounts, you can get away with probably paying a little bit less, but I'm trying to set you guys up for success here. So I'm really erring towards the side of being more safe, because what we're doing right now is already high risk. So we want to mitigate risk as much as we can and be as safe as we can. Another thing, while I'm thinking about it, you never want to risk more than max 10% of your account on any one trade. Why? Well, let's say the trade goes wrong and this happens, okay? Powell gets up and speaks, and you're in puts, and the thing just rackets, all right? And your puts go to zero, that you paid $300 for per contract, all right? And they just tank. I mean, they just bottom out. Granted, in this instant, they came all the way back down, and you made all your money back. But that generally doesn't happen. Normally, you're fucked. So stop losses are hard with this, I will say. But there is a method to the madness here, even if you're not using a stop loss, because we're making 100, 200, 300, 400, 500% returns on these plays. So if you lose 100% here and there, not that we want to do that, but if we do and we're winning 4 out of 5 times, then we make that back very quickly. We pretty much make that back in the next trade. So that being said, back to my point. that you never want to risk any more than about 10% per trade of your total account value, right? So if you have $2,000 in your account, you don't want to risk any more than, let's say, $200 on any one trade. So that would be maybe one contract in this situation. So, and if shit hits the fan, okay, you lost a couple $100. Guess what? You still have 90% of your portfolio. The strategy still is what it is. The thing about trading is, and I'm guilty of this too. We all are. We're all human. Losing is part of the system. You know, there is no system out there where you don't lose. Okay, so people, and you don't know when those losses are going to come. You know, this strategy works about 80% of the time. Okay, but that still means that, you know, 2 out of every 10 times or so, I'm going to lose, you know? So we want to manage our risk. And by doing that, by only betting, you know, a certain percent, we're managing our risk. So, so that's all I wanted to get at. And you should be as consistent as you can with trading. So what I mean by that is, if you're buying, you know, 3 contracts at a time, let's say, again, if you're new, you should only be buying 1 max. Remember, I said that. But let's say you're a little bit more experienced and you're buying, let's say, 3 contracts at a time. You really want to be consistent with that, right? So what happens? Well, if you take a loss on the 3, well, okay, well, the next trade should work out statistically, right? Now, if it doesn't, again, you would be, you know, deeper in the losses. But again, statistically, that, you know, it's all part of the system. It's all numbers. It's all high probability. So you will make that money back eventually. So I just wanted to get that out there. Now let's now that we've covered kind of the risk management side of that, and I've given you my kind of warnings, my heed my warning type thing. Now let's take a look at the charts. What are we looking for? Okay. So all we're looking for, this is very simple, guys. When we are at extremes, okay? So when our wave trend indicator here, hang on, let me do this. When our wave trend indicator is at extremes and we have a sell signal, okay? So this is what I mean by extremes. If we are very close or over the double lines, so for the put side, it would be red, and for the call sign, it would be green. So if we are close, very close to or over these lines, that is half of a buy or sell signal. So right here, boom, we got our cross here. You know, we're over the double red lines here, right? And why don't we enter that trade yet? Well, we're waiting for our sell signal here on the Q trend. Now, once we get that, then we can enter puts, okay? Because we have both criteria fulfilled. So our Q trend has a sell and our wave trend has a sell. So we would then enter, boom, this condition is met and this condition is met. So we would then enter here on this candle. And this play right here, I know it doesn't look like much, but if you entered here on this candle somewhere around maybe the 503 area, this thing dropped all the way down to 498. This would have been a triple digit play. I'll put it to that way. So you would have made at least 100% gains on this play. Okay. Next, now you can see our wave trend came all the way down, right? What happened? We're at the double green lines now, and we get a buy signal. All right. So what do? We buy calls. So we would enter calls here since both conditions are met, buy signal, and our wave trend is on a buy. Boom. We enter calls, and you can see this rocketed. This is more like a 200 maybe 200% play, maybe more. That all depends on the contracts and this and that. But listen, if you're going to sit here and you're going to argue about whether you got 150% or 250% returns, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so that was the call side of it, right? And you can take profits whenever. I just want to be clear about this. You don't have to wait for a buy signal. I mean, you can. That's something that I may want to look into and play around a little bit. But you don't have to wait for a buy signal to take profits. You can use a trailing stop loss, which I'll go over, mental. You can take profits whenever you are comfortable taking profits. And that part of it might take a little time for you to adjust. But the best part of that is you're going to be making money while you're learning. This is the best part of all this. So, okay, next. So here we are. All right. Now we jumped up. We made money on the call side, right? Now we are at extremes. We're not quite over the double red lines, but remember I said if we're close, that counts. Okay. So we were close. Now, why didn't we enter here? Anybody know? Because that's only half the criteria. The other half of the criteria is the sell signal. Now, we have our conditions here met. We have our second condition here on our Q trend met. We would enter here. And you can see, boom, this was another good, maybe 150, 200, whatever percent. Good short here. All right. Now, here, all right, you kind of got to ignore this, all right, because this right here, I know how crazy it looks, but this happened during the Jerome Powell speech. And I tell my community, if you're going to trade the Fed day, a lot of traders just take off because of this. But you'll see, we did get a buy signal there, right? But then we got the sell signal maybe after, But you could see here, right? You could see what direction this was going to go in, all right? Because we were way in extremes here on the wave trend. So, after this fuckery with Jerome Powell was over, you then got your buy signal. Again, we were at extremes, and then once you got your buy signal, you were good to enter calls, And no matter where you enter these calls, maybe you get on a dip, maybe you got in on the high first thing, doesn't matter. You made money, and this was another good 200% play, and it's still ripping. Now, anybody notice anything? Look at the wave trend indicator. We're at extremes again, okay? Now, we don't have a sell signal on the Q trend yet, but once we do, guess what time it is? It's put city time, baby. It's time to make some money on that drop. This is the best thing I love about options. And I don't like rooting for the market to go down because a lot of people are hurt. They're, get hurt. People that are close to retirement. When the market crashes, you have stuff like 2008, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I would prefer that the market go up, but that's not the way it works. The market goes up and it goes down, The thing is with our trading style, we make money both ways, So we make money when the market goes up, and we make money when the market goes down. The only time we really don't make money is when it goes sideways. We are trend traders. So that's what we're looking at. That's our next play here. We have a short play right around the corner. We're just waiting on that Q trend sell signal. You guys can even trade that if you want. There's a freebie for you. Make some money off some puts. So that's the raw basics of our system. Again, this just scratches the surface with what we do. And, if you join the premium group, there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot way to basically exacerbate this and capitalize this and make even more money. But I am giving you this freebie here, and it's extremely valuable, as you can see. One of the biggest lies, in my opinion, or maybe it's not so much a lie as it is a generalization, is that you can't time the market. And I wholeheartedly, completely disagree. I would say the average person can't time the market, but I just showed you in how many different ways that you can time the market. What do you mean? I'm showing you that this works. Now, can the average person do this? If you have this information, they can. A lot of people don't have this information. This is my system. This Q trend indicator isn't mine. This wave trend indicator isn't mine. By the way, shout out to Alex/Charts for putting me on the wave trend indicator. I was using a different indicator, and I worked this into my Q trend system, and it's just chef's kiss. You know what I mean? Works great. So that's the raw basics. What I've just given you right there, you can take it and run with it, and you can make money with it. All you need to do is kind of figure out, okay, how do I, or this says buy a call, right? How do I buy a call? This says buy a put, right? How do I buy a put? And that part of it is actually, if that's the hardest thing you need to figure out, oh my God, I'm giving you guys a fucking gift. And then if you are trading futures or you are looking to trade futures, something that's cool about futures is here you see some of my other indicators, but you can buy right off the chart. This is fucking awesome. I have my broker linked to I don't. It's a little late, I guess. Yeah, so I can't show you. The market's not open right now, but you can buy right off the chart. So I can buy a bullish. It's not really calls or puts, but it's kind of the same thing. So I can go bullish and put a buy in and make money and trade right off the chart. Or if I want to short it, I can buy quote unquote puts. It's not really put options. Futures are a little bit different, but it's the same principle. I'm making money off the drop. So anyways, if you guys like this content, and this is probably, if I had this when I first started trading, I'd be fucking killing it, So take this, like and subscribe to the video, and, I'll leave the Discord. I'll pin the Discord there in the comments as well. Come ask questions in the chat. And, if you want to come and join the premium community and really take advantage and really make some money, you're free to do that too. I never pressure anyone, but the results speak for themselves, man. I haven't seen any better system than the one I'm showing you right now. So, again, like and subscribe to the content, and I'll keep putting the shit out for you. So, anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys.